This day is almost anticlimactic from an Occupy point of view, but because I mean all the stuff that's happened this week, I mean you can't beat most of what's gone on this week. We feel we've really been able to make that connection between the corruption of corporate power and the corruption of political power, that conduit of money that flows from Wall Street to K Street and back again. We've made that connection. We hope that New Hampshire, South Carolina, Florida, Oregon eventually will also make that connection and let people know that it's not just the corruption on Wall Street we have to be worried about. It's the political leadership that has let us down. We hope the ball for this element of the movement passes to the next state. And yeah, we're going to continue fighting here because our work is clearly not done. We need to continue to build momentum, to reach out to new constituencies, to make sure that the folks who are being hurt by the greed in this country unite for change.
I want to open discourse on what an abysmal failure direct representative democracy and trickle-down economics have been. Jefferson said that every generation needs its own revolution, and that's what it is this time. It's the trickle-down economics and the representative democracy, and I want to see those replaced with direct democratic infrastructures that are based on consensus. And I want to use this time to expose our top contributors for the abhorrent practices that they promote. And I want people to make the connection between that and the millionaire political campaigners that they're promoting.
Good. Thank you.
In a few weeks that I've been in, or a couple months I've been involved in this movement, I've met some really great people, and felt like I've been a part of something that's starting to make a difference and doing something constructive. I guess my biggest issue, or the thing I'd probably like to see most happen eventually, and I think is really important, is public campaign financing. I think from there, most of the other issues that we have would everything would follow from that.
I came not the first night, but the second night. And when I heard that 35 of my fellow Americans had been arrested for expressing their freedom of speech, I said, I have to be down there with those people. I have to be there with them because they're going to do something big. Those are the people that are ready to stand their ground and ready to make their voices heard. And my voice hasn't been heard, and I want to be with them so that all of us together can no longer be ignored. We're going to go forth from this point and keep the momentum rolling in New Hampshire and in South Carolina. We've got big issues to fix in this country, and none of those issues are going to go anywhere until we can get the huge corporate money out of politics. Right now, the way the system works, the candidate that raises the most money wins the election. And until we can get a representative who will actually be brave enough to pass real campaign finance reform and real tax reform, a lot of these other issues that depend upon our democratic leaders to have integrity and to not be bought and paid for by corporate interests are not going to get changed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm from Eugene, Oregon. I've been here, I guess this is my 4th day here, but it seems like I've been here a week or two. Everyone that I've met here from Des Moines and who's traveled all over, it really feels like we have a family here. We're changing the world because we're changing the way we relate to each other. Based off building a society that cares about each other is the first step to really having a political system, a government that will actually care for its people instead of the 1% of people who give it the most money and take the most money from the rest of the people. What we've done here in Des Moines and in Iowa has been incredible. I've been so inspired by the people that I've met here and the actions that I've seen that I participated in the die-in yesterday, and I was arrested at the DNC headquarters, or at the hotel where they were staging their war room. And just because of how powerful that I believe that this event has been, Occupy the Caucus has been, I'm leaving tomorrow to head to New Hampshire to help Occupy New Hampshire out with their primary, which is a week from today. From then, I'll be traveling down to DC to occupy Congress on the 17th, and then just who knows from there. But I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I really believe that this movement has the keys to changing this country, to changing this world, and it's about occupying the world with love. Thank you.
I was also here on October 9th, and as Ed mentioned, much warmer climb at the time. I had my tent set up back there. The views changed a little bit, but the spirit still hovers here for me. Just being here is a very spiritual experience, and this whole movement has been a very spiritual experience. I was one of those young people who probably for the past 8 years kind of just floundered about, not feeling like I could really issue any change. I'd voted in every election, local elections, probably one of the few young people who actually care to vote in local elections. And I still hadn't seen anything, change for the better. And when I came down here on October 9th and the almost 3 months since then, I have felt such an overwhelming sense of community with all of the people that I've met, and especially this week, meeting people from across the country that I would have never had the experience to meet before, and to take our message straight to the candidates and to show the country and the world that these political leaders who say they want to represent us would rather have us arrested than hear our voice. And it happened on both sides of the aisle, with the Republicans and with the Democrats. And I think what maybe they didn't realize is by having us arrested, they were actually helping us get our voice out to the world, because people started to pay attention and be like, why are so many people getting arrested? And I hope that the momentum we've gained over the past week, that Occupy Des Moines can carry that on throughout the new year, and that the people that came here to Des Moines can take that with them out into the country and use that momentum to enter, a next phase of the occupation nation and worldwide.
Yes. Yeah, we stand here in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Oakland, in New York City, in Paris, in Europe, Asia, across the world. This is not an issue that affects only Americans, because, I'm sorry, a lot of people look up to America, and we are not setting a good precedent. What message do we send to the rest of the world when, we are willing to detain our own citizens, when we are willing to corrupt our own campaigns? They're not here to protect us. They're here to line their pockets. And it breaks my heart.
I think we've all felt that sometime in the past months, years. I think we've all reached a breaking point in this country where we just can't take seeing this country that we love broken down by petty fighting and by corrupt money flowing in to influence our politics over the voices of the people that it's supposed to represent.
And then we being called the radicals. When we are not the ones that broke the laws or take the money. We don't have money to give politicians. All we have is our speech and our time. And we can't seem to get our voice out. So we appreciate the media covering us.
I know we're a small group, but I think you'll agree with us. There's a lot of heart in those of us who have shown up here today. And we're going to start looking to the future. We're going to be sending messages to our friends in New Hampshire and South Carolina and Florida to say, pick up the ball and run with it, guys. We're going to send you our support. We're going to send you our resources, and we might even send you some people. Yes. I know this guy's on his way there, so if we can get a couple more people to ride out, that'll be great.
We've had guests from 25 states and 4 countries here. That's pretty powerful too. I didn't expect to see that many people travel to Iowa for a caucus event. And that speaks highly too of our movement. And I think we set an example that will be carried over to other states on occupying their candidates when they reach their regions or states.
Arrest Wall Street, not Main Street. Arrest Wall Street, not Main Street. Democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
We
are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are the 99th spring. Occupy everything. All winter, all spring. Occupy everything. All winter, all spring. Occupy everything.
Whose year?
Our year.